Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at HyundaiSonata.com.
Hello and welcome to Autoline Daily. It is Friday, yes, Friday, October 5th, 2012. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Craig Cole, filling in for John McElroy, and here's the news. Anti-Japanese sentiment in China is crushing car sales for Japanese automakers. Bloomberg reports Mazda's sales were down 35% last month, while Mitsubishi's dropped a whopping 63%. According to Reuters, Toyota's sales were off 40%. Since it's not known when the dispute will end, analysts say Japanese automakers will continue to reduce production in China. In-car technology is the topic on Autoline this week. John McElroy sits down with a variety of experts in the field to delve into the issues facing automakers as they try to add more features to vehicles. Naturally, usability is one of the top concerns.
If the consumer experience becomes an afterthought and you're doing something just for technology's sake, you're going to end up with maybe some undesirable results. But setting your goals clearly on responsiveness, ease of use, intuitiveness, almost to the point where the user interface is, we call it, it has to be obvious, not just easy to use, but it has to be obvious to everybody, to all the demographics.
I've got to believe the industry is learning by doing, in the sense that, you know, if I go back almost a decade when the BMW iDrive system came out, it was very heavily criticized. Even Ford's My Ford Touch has been heavily criticized. So I got to believe that a lot of this is, even though you do your consumer research, your market research, you put it out there and you still learn from what's happening once you put it in production. Is that right?
Look at the iPhone. I mean, when it first came out, it was panned for not having a physical keyboard. So I think there's a degree of learning from what we launch. I mean, we'd be fools not to improve based on feedback we get, but there's also a degree of kind of preconceived notions about what a radio should be or what an interior should be. And so we sort of have to fight that, you know. So I mean, the iPhone, I think, is a great example. It doesn't satisfy everybody. Not everybody owns an iPhone. It's a great product, but there are going to be people who are just absolutely against having a fully touchscreen, no physical keyboard. So as much as Apple improves it, unless they add a keyboard, they're not going to satisfy those people.
As always, this entire episode of Autoline, show number 1641, is available for your viewing pleasure on our website, autoline.tv. It should be posted right now, so give it a look-see. Anyway, back to the news. As we've been reporting for some time now, Europe's auto industry is in trouble, and even Volkswagen is feeling the pain. Reuters reports the company just slashed its European sales forecast for 2012 by 140,000 vehicles. It will also cut production. In other European news, Renault will increase manufacturing in Turkey. It plans to build more than 70% of its next-generation Clio subcompact in the country. Currently, about 45% of Clios are built in Turkey. The rest are made in Spain and France. An island of hope in Europe's ocean of automotive despair is, surprisingly, the United Kingdom. WardsAuto.com reports September sales rose by more than 8%, totaling nearly 360,000 units. That's some 26,000 more than predicted by the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. Commercial vehicle deliveries were also up nearly 1%. As for a full-year forecast, the SMMT will revise its current guesstimation later this month. Right now it stands at about 1.97 million for 2012. Ford's B-segment Fiesta was the top-selling car for the month. It also leads the year with about 89,000 deliveries. The Opel Corsa is a close second. Hopefully some of the UK magic will rub off on the rest of Europe. After the break, we'll take a look at one of Chevrolet's most important reveals from the Paris Motor Show. Stick around.
You know why I pulled you over, ma'am? I need you to recalibrate the Doppler shift on the return signal. Radar's on the frisk.
Do Sonata drivers know something you don't? The Sonata from Hyundai.
Last week's Paris Motor Show may be history, but a treasure trove of news and information came out of the event. While in the City of Light, John ran across Susan Docherty. She's the president and managing director for Chevrolet and Cadillac in Central and Western Europe. It's quite the title. In the following interview, John and she talk about Chevy's big reveal at the show.
Well, first of all, this is the world premiere and launch of the Chevrolet Trax. It is a compact SUV with all-wheel drive. Going to be perfect for the European marketplace because what we call SUVB as a segment is growing 15% per year for the foreseeable future. And sort of like in the United States where people have had a love affair with the SUV, European consumers are just now getting into that love affair. It's in its infancy, so an entry like this product we believe is going to do really well here.
So what kind of powertrain do you have in this?
We're going to offer 3 powertrains. We'll have a 1.4 liter turbo, a 1.6 liter, as well as a 1.7 liter diesel. Diesels are very important in this marketplace, and customers are used to having a diesel in a product like the one we've got here.
And price, more or less, where is that going to come at?
We're going to be competitive. We're actually not going to launch the product until the first quarter of 2013, so we haven't priced it yet. But I will say the leaders in that segment are products like the Nissan Juke, as well as a product like the Nissan Qashqai, which also kind of is a tweener product and sells into there. So I would tell you we need to be competitive with the segment leaders.
One thing I've noticed about this vehicle, very tall. I gotta believe you wanted a shorter overall length, but still give everybody good room inside.
Yes, I think customers will be really delighted with the interior of the vehicle. It's very spacious. Particularly women and SUVs, we're seeing a lot of growth in that area, and with very skinny roads here in Europe, having a commanding view of the road and sitting a little bit higher is a great plus for female drivers here in Europe.
Everybody knows that the European market is kind of melting down right now, but Chevrolet's a success story. Why is that?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We're on a product offense right now. We've launched 10 new models in the last 18 months, and as a matter of fact, our Trax behind me will be number 10. And I think what consumers are looking for here in Europe are great vehicles with terrific quality. And what they know about the Chevrolet brand is that it's got a great DNA. They know that it's growing around the world. And I think that continuing to bring out really great products one after another gives European consumers a reason to come and shop us.
Last question. Not only are you introducing new products, I gotta believe this gets Chevrolet into a segment it was not in before.
Yes, we did not have an entry in SUVB. We have one SUV that's a little bit bigger than this that we call the Chevrolet Captiva. But it's a C-size vehicle, so we want to make sure that not only are we racing to a segment that's growing, but one for which we can leverage Chevrolet's DNA in SUVs and be the car of choice.
As she mentioned, the Trax is sized for Europe, which means it will most likely not make the transatlantic trip to North America, which is too bad for us. Hey, make sure you check out tonight's installment of Roundabout. The crew bids bon voyage on this extra special finale episode. They've called in a slew of past guests and panelists for a show that promises to be off the rails. Join the fun starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Autoline.tv. And that's the end of the line for today. Again, I'm Craig Cole. Thank you for watching, and please join us again on Monday.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details, and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.